Chuck, before we do anything else, thoughts on the game tonight?
Yeah, well, my first thought is obviously Bobby Brink is the most valuable player on the team because
Very clear.
he comes back and they win. It's just math, obviously, guys. Uh, no, in all seriousness, this game was just enormous for the Flyers, and we all know how much they've been struggling. We all know how frustrated they've been. The losing streak over the last couple of weeks was pretty painful to watch. And Vegas is a team that has been playing really well and is a cup contender. This was a game where even if the Flyers were playing well, you would think that they're probably going to lose this game going into a hostile environment against a really good team playing really good hockey. The Flyers found a way. And I think that's really the best way to put it. Like, do I think they were perfect in this game? Not even close. There were long stretches where Vegas was the better team. I believe Vegas outshot them. Obviously, the Flyers take 7 penalties. So this was far from a perfect game. They get 2 goals, both unassisted, both singular efforts by one guy. So it's not like the offense as a whole really got going. But again, they did enough. The penalty kill does enough. Travis Konecny's offense proves to be just enough, even at the very end of that game. I mean, Vegas easily could have scored with 5 seconds left in the game. There are so many ways this could have went against the Flyers. And on a normal night, I'd be nitpicking, talking about the discipline, talking about, you got to be better at preventing chances. On this night, they just need to find a way to win, and they found a way to win.
Charlie, I was saying to Steve, like, this is what you and I were talking about, like, after 2, 3 in a row that they had lost. They need to figure out a way to just, it doesn't have to be an A+ game. It doesn't have to be a 4-6-0. Like, oh yeah, man, the power play was 3 for 3 and we made some beautiful plays. Like, if you had to cheat to win, you had to cheat to win. Who cares? Just end this thing. Now they actually have, and that is a great sign. Just talking to the coach, talking to the whoever in the locker room, what is the mood now? Is it just absolute relief? Is it all right, we won one, on to the next one, that's all you can do? Is it celebratory? Are they not leaving till the morning maybe? Like, how's everyone feeling?
No, they're definitely leaving tonight. I think they got their fill of Vegas the last 2 nights to be sure. Was it celebratory? I mean, they were happy, obviously,
Sure.
and was there relief? Absolutely. They seemed relieved. Of course, you have a long losing streak. You're watching your team fall down the standings, so there was relief there. But honestly, based on the guys we talked to, it really just seemed like. I guess relief is a word you can use, but the one thing that a bunch of the guys were saying was that, look, we know we're a good team. And, people may not believe that, but we believe that in this room. And yeah, these last 2 weeks were rough and we were losing games, but we never stopped believing that we're a good hockey team. So in a way, yes, it was relief, but it was like relief tinged with validation on their part that, like, see, we told you that the sky wasn't falling. We told you that we would find a way out of this, and they did, to their credit, found a way out of this tonight.
They did, and that was really, really important. A big part of it, Sam Ersson. Fifth most saves he's made in a game this year. I think like third most in a regulation game. Best game by save percentage. He was huge. He could have been, if not for one guy scoring their 2 goals without anyone else helping, he could have been their number one star tonight. Do you think this is a turning point for Ersson? Do you think it's just, all right, everyone plays well once? He came up big, good for him. How you feeling about Sam after this one?
I mean, do I feel great in the sense that I think he's now turned the corner and he's going to be awesome the rest of the year? No, of course not. But it at least served as a reminder that there is still a good goalie in there. And I mean, I was worried that he just wasn't going to be able to reset. That this was just going to be the new normal for a while until they could give him a couple weeks just to work behind closed doors and figure out his game. I'm impressed that he was able to reset on the fly because I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do it. Like, this was, look, there are some times where bad goalies can have a game where everything breaks their way. They still look like they're a mess, but the puck just hasn't. Like, I hate to pile on this guy, but like, I saw Ivan Fedotov have a few of those games last year where it's
Yeah,
like he didn't look good, but at the end of the day, he gave up 2 goals and finished with a 910 save percentage. And you're
yeah.
like, well, I guess he's real big, and they just shot the puck at him a bunch of
They
times.
hit him a
That
bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was not this game by Ersson. I thought he legitimately played well. He was reading the play well. He was working through screens. He was moving well side to side. Like, he makes a save with 20 seconds left on Jack Eichel. And like, I don't think Jack Eichel got all of that shot. I think it could have been a higher velocity. But I'm thinking back to that one goal that Ersson gave up last week where it like hit him in the chest and goes by him. That could have been the same thing. He could have given up the exact same goal where, yeah, he gets over, he's in position, but he doesn't have his shoulder square and the puck just slides right off him. Instead, he gets over and he makes the stop. No frills, just makes the stop that he has to make. Sam Ersson was legitimately better in this game. Am I going to now be like, oh, well, now Sam Harris is going to be great the rest of the year? No, of course not. Like his numbers this year are still bad, and you still worry that like he's never going to be able to turn into the goalie overall on a game by game basis that the Flyers want him to be. But he at least showed that he could halt his spiral, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do that. He did. All the credit to him. He was one of the biggest reasons they won this game, to be sure.
Now, Charlie, besides the Flyers winning, the most shocking moment of the night for me was hearing the name Tanner Lazinski. Where does Tanner Lazinski rank as far as should have kept players for the Flyers?
I mean, I look. I always liked Tanner Lazinski. I liked him dating back to his draft year, and he's a quad A guy. He can come up and give some good minutes in the NHL, but I think he's pretty low on that list, Steve. I would say pretty low.
Shocked.
All right, so we got to talk about the TK performance tonight. A couple of goals, including the shorthanded game winner, both goals unassisted breakaways. A number of things the Flyers have struggled with this year, like scoring on the rush and breakaways. TK kind of finding his scoring touch and being the least bit dangerous on the PK at all. All of it came together tonight. What can you say about the? It's really like the last 24 games. TK has been on fire. What can you say about the season he's having?
I'm not going to speak to the season he's having, but I am going to speak to the game he had tonight. And to me, this was and I know that it is hard for people to kind of get their heads around this because he's such as John Tortorella called him, he's such a wingnut and he's kind of crazy. He doesn't come off as like the leader type. But he is a leader on this team and he has matured. He has gotten older and stepped into that role. He wants to step into that role. This was a leader game. He had a game like this a few weeks ago too, where I was like, yeah, Travis Konecny stepped up and said, we ain't losing this game. Tonight, Travis Konecny stepped up and said, we ain't losing this game. The fact that, look, if he doesn't make those two plays, they maybe lose this game 1-0. I mean, it was not as if those plays were, he scores after a tic-tac-toe series of passes from his teammates. He manufactured those goals on his own. Those were entirely Travis Konecny goals by him just being like, yeah, I'm going to do it all and I'm going to score. And he did it twice. Once on the penalty kill, this penalty kill that has been like obscenely awful since New Year's Eve. He turns it into a positive and makes the biggest play of the game on the penalty kill, which has been their biggest weakness over the past 2.5 weeks. I thought Travis Konecny, this was, I would go so far as to say like this was a signature game for Travis Konecny. Like this is the kind of game where, look, in the grand scheme of things, it's a nothing game in the middle of January. But given the circumstances, given the fact that they were in this losing streak, the fact that you were seeing the season maybe start to slip away against the team they were against, this was not the Rangers, this was not Pittsburgh, this was one of the best teams in the league playing really, really well. For him to step up and have the game he had tonight, that was, I think you can call that a signature game in terms of Travis Konecny's career, just because of how badly the team needed it and how much he stepped up.
TK had 5 shots on goal. Every other player on the team combined, 12.
Wow! Wow!
He was their best player, and in terms of skaters, there was no second tonight, Charlie. It was the TK show for real. We have to talk about the penalties. They do allow 1 power play goal. I don't know what the hell Ersson could have done about that. Real nice tip play. Jack Eichel on the half walls, unstoppable. We know this. But the penalties themselves, I guess maybe you could have let a couple of these go. The broadcast was kind of showing like, okay, this happened and they let it go and then this. But I thought there was a few let go both ways. 7 penalties for the Flyers tonight. They got to cut this out, right?
Yeah, they do. And a couple guys after the game did mention that. So it's not as if they were like, well, we won, so all is forgiven. No, the lack of discipline, it was a major reason for the losing streak. And it's a major reason why this game was as close as it was. And I've made this point over the last week and a half. It would be one thing if it was just the kids. Like, okay, like first period, Denver, Barkley, and Matvei Mishkov, yeah, they're two bad penalties. The Mishkov one, maybe that was a little bit of a flop on Aiden Hill, but also like he needs to be better aware of where his skate is and avoid that contact. But again, Barkley and Mishkov, they're kids. I'm not absolving them, but I'm saying like that's what you expect from kids. You expect young players that are still getting used to the NHL level. You expect them to make mistakes. My issue is when the vets are making the mistakes. The guys that you know that they need to know better. They have to know better. And in this game, you kind of had the same thing. I mean, you have like Noah Cates, and I really like Noah Cates a lot. I think he's one of the smartest players, one of the most reliable players in the team. You can't take that penalty. You just can't take that penalty at the end of the second period. I'm sorry.
Ozone trip with 2 minutes left in the period, and guess when they scored the game-tying goal?
Yeah, like you can't take that penalty. Travis Sanheim, also a guy who I really like. I think he's had a good year. Like you probably get away with one cross check, you maybe get away with two, but he just keeps doing it. Like you got to be smarter. You have to be smarter in that situation, especially when you're a team leader. Owen Tippett at the end of the game. Like I don't know, man. Like just be a little bit more careful with the puck. Like I get it, and it's not coming from a bad place. Like they're trying. It's not like how long for years? How many years did people complain about Travis Sanheim being soft? Like so, it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from a place that he cares. But like you just have to be smarter, and it's a team wide thing. And yeah, they win this game. Great job. But they still have to be a lot smarter if they want to win 2 straight games.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to is just be freaking smarter. Go ahead, Steve.
They have to be smarter, absolutely. So, I mean, it was pretty much the Sam Ersson and Travis Konecny show tonight, but are there any other Flyers that you want to highlight their game? Anybody you thought had a good game besides those two?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just wait until my 3 stars, Steve, but I can say it now. I did think so.
I'm impatient.
You are very impatient, Steve. So, Rick Tocchet after the game said that he made a point to point out Cam York. He thought he was really strong on the penalty kill, blocking shots. I thought that was noteworthy because based on practice yesterday, it looked like there was a chance they were going to drop York off the top unit or off of the top pair. They had tried Andre with Sanheim. I almost wonder if maybe Tocchet had a conversation with York and decided based on that conversation, I'm going to give Cam York one more look on the top pair before I demote him because he was obviously really, really bad on Saturday against the Rangers. I highlighted in my column. Thought he had a good bounce back game. One guy, and again, this will steal my 3rd star. I really like the game. I really like the game that Nick Seeler had. I thought he had a really good defensive game. This was a Nick Seeler game in the sense of, they give up 1 goal, they're blocking shots, they're diving around, they're playing a gritty game. They didn't have their fastball, obviously, from an offensive standpoint. So these are the games where you need Nick Seeler to be being the unsung hero. And I thought Nick Seeler, had a really strong game. Was really good on that 2-on-1 late in the second period, breaking it up after Juleson has the terrible pinch to lead to the 2-on-1. I thought Seeler had a really strong defensive game. And look, they gave up 1 goal in the game. They played a good defensive game.